Hello everybody, Accureye here, and welcome back to another Accureye Talks video. And in today's Talks video, we're going to be mostly breaking down the characters, and also just in turn how to, which characters should you use. Now, in general, let's face it, overall, the characters don't really matter. That's kind of the straight answer, is that nobody really matters character-wise. You can use any character you'd like, and technically, it'd be either good or bad with you. Either can be good or bad with them. I mean, let's face it. That's probably pretty much the end of the story. There, for the most part, is that overall, it doesn't matter how or what character you use. Now, in general, this doesn't mean that all characters don't matter. None of the characters really matter at all. This is just in general, no matter what you do, it just doesn't really matter how you use this character. I mean, each character has their own unique finisher. It has their own unique, ability, if you will, and, I mean, with that being said, it is pretty much what it is. I mean, let's face it, I'm going to say that no matter how you look at it, it is what it is. Like, I mean, all characters equally have have usage. Now, this doesn't mean that every character is, for say, quote unquote, a good character for you. Now, every character could be good or bad depending on how it goes. I mean, some characters are really good for some people, other characters are really bad for some people. And depending on how you look at it, like, are you trying to get a win with all 8 legends? If you're trying to get a win with 8 different legends, or the current 8 legends, then, one of the main things you want to look at is, who are some of the hardest legends you have trouble with? Like, who are some of the characters that you are not good with? That determines a lot of how you are, playing, how you're looking, and what your playstyle is like. I mean, let's face it, if you're having trouble like me, where you're having trouble like on tanks with Gibraltar or people like that, then in general, you're probably going to want to work on characters like Gibraltar before and maybe even Caustic before you move on to other characters like, for instance, Wraith, Bloodhound, Pathfinder, Lifeline, or whoever it is. Now, if you're in the end, having trouble with characters like Wraith, then maybe Wraith should be considerably the first character you decide on, as far as, of course, who you should work with if you're looking to get, like, the 8 wins with 8 different legends. If you're just looking to find your character, then look at all their abilities. Look at what they can do. For instance, a lot of people like using Bangalore because Bangalore has her smoke grenade. And her smoke grenade allows her to basically confuse and maybe even surprise enemies on where you're going. She also, when hit, can gain a ability to basically speed up her run, thus making it maybe harder to catch her and, in general, shoot. And in general, just shoot people, But this also means that she can aggressively charge when she gets shot, because, of course, every time Bangalore gets shot, she speeds up. So this in general means that you could slide in and surprise someone with a charged assault or something like that. But if you're good at people like Lifeline, of course has the ability to use her heal drone, and of course her heal drone allows her to basically heal up and of course get keep people alive, and thus also in a pinch keep her alive for a little bit longer to maybe take down somebody. If you just find your first weapon, you immediately get in a fight. So Lifeline has her advantage of having her heal drone readily available to use to stay alive for just a little bit longer, maybe to knock down somebody if you get into an early fight and you're like in a pinch, you can't find armor, or you did find armor and you have to basically fight it out. So, that in general makes her useful in many ways. Gibraltar, of course, has his giant shield, which means that nobody can shoot in, nobody can shoot out. Thus making it a perfect defense location or defense drop for reviving or just, in general, taking a break to heal. Because, let's face it, if your shield is up, you're going to have to run in and hope that Gibraltar or whoever else is in the shield doesn't have their gun ready to go, and is in the healing state. Because let's face it, if the shield dome goes down, you're going to have to close in. It gives people in the shield dome for Gibraltar enough time to basically, of course, in general, heal up and recover health in a pinch. But it also works for the airstrike. If you use the airstrike while also using the shield dome, you can be in the shield dome while the airstrike's going off, and everyone will have to hope you either close in on the shield dome and not get shot, or hope that they can get away from the airstrike and not get blasted in the process. So in general, that helps. With characters like Mirage, it's all about being a decoy, being being the trickster, being the jokester, hoping that, someone shoots your decoy and you can basically surprise them. You can basically catch them off guard, catch them with a surprise, attack or something like that. One of the other abilities that Gibraltar has is he has a small shield which he can protect himself from, I think it's maybe 10 or 15% damage. And with that being said, it does in general gives them a chance to, block a little extra damage before the shield comes into play. So of course, with that having been said, it makes it a much, better chance for Gibraltar to survive for just a little bit longer. Now going back to Mirage is all about being a trickster. Getting people to shoot his decoys so that he can see them for maybe like 1 or 2 seconds. And then also just using the decoys to kind of dance around enemies. You never know. A well-placed decoy can basically make it to where they see the decoy, they shoot at the decoy, you see where they are, and you can kind of loop around them and catch them from behind. And that's the beauty of Mirage. His ultimate allows him to send out multiple Mirage decoys, thus making him go invisible. This could make it a much easier chance for you to have everyone kind of going, where's the real Mirage? And, if they don't find the real Mirage, you have a chance to catch them off guard and maybe from behind. When he's down, he sends out his decoy as an encore and goes invisible. This gives him a chance to go away, and if you're not paying attention, Mirage can be very, very hard to find when he goes down. So, you always gotta pay attention for that. Characters like Pathfinder, of course, Pathfinder, and I will go in detail about each character in the future. This is just my general talk about, which character is good for you. And it doesn't really matter, like I said. But characters like Pathfinder have his zipline. He has his zipline. He can create ziplines everywhere. And his ultimate is to create a zipline. This, of course, means that he in general can make it to where your whole team has spots everywhere. They can zip around everywhere. They can be the most mobile team out there. And he also, if you find a beacon, can see where the ring's going next. This could be a nice way of you surprising attacks, coordinating attacks, and surprising enemies on where they are going next. Like, you'll already have the inside knowledge. You and your team will already have the inside knowledge. And because you and your team will already have the inside knowledge, this does mean that you will have the advantage of kind of going like, oh, hey, I hear Crossfire. They're going to the ring. Let's catch them off guard. And bada bing, bada boom, you're on the road to victory in many ways. You know, going back and explaining characters like Wraith, for instance. Wraith, she's all about transport. She can teleport, she can move fast. You know, and because she can transport, this means that you can take time to kind of run around and say, hey, I see an enemy. Okay, I'm not going to fire at them. I'm just going to use my teleport in, use my shotgun, and then, you know, basically, you know, or basically use my teleport and then come in with a shotgun, or maybe like something like Flatline, for instance, and of course, you know, just gun them down, catch them while they when they don't, you know, see it, you know, and gun them down as soon as I can, you know. So with that being said, you know, it makes it much easier to surprise your opponents. Now, you know, of course, Wraith is not perfect. She can easily be tracked if she does, of course, get spotted. But at least if she gets spotted, she has like a few seconds of no damage being taken, because if they try to shoot you, you know, obviously Wraith is going to get away with no damage. Another thing about Wraith, which I'll explain later on, is what happens if you're too close to a ring and, you know, you kind of go into the ring or get caught in the ring. But, I mean, you know, that's like another story for when I do explain Wraith. Now, of course, going forward, there's also Bloodhound. Now, what's Bloodhound's ability? Why is Bloodhound so good? Why should I consider using him? Well, Bloodhound, his special ability, of course, is to, of course, ping enemies. Now, he can ping the last known location for them, and this makes him a great tracker. And because this makes him a great tracker, well, you know, obviously it means that you can, you know, you can track down people. You can see where they're going. Of course, his passive ability going forward is of course to, you know, see the last known location or trail of the enemy. So, for instance, if an enemy opened the door recently, you'll be able to see where the open door is. This makes him a great tracker to follow the location, follow the trail, and hopefully catch the enemy off guard while they're looting or something. Going back to Wraith, though, Wraith's passive ability is to hear voices. So if someone's targeting you as Wraith, you can warn the enemies that, you can warn your team that somebody is targeting you, or somebody at least has sight of you. And if someone has sight of you, then at least they can be alert and ready for an attack. You know, back to Bloodbound, though. And of course, for Wraith's ultimate, and I don't think I talked about it, but Wraith's ultimate is she can open a portal, thus making another mobility-based character, and this making another character who can pretty much kind of, you know, cause loop arounds or surprise attacks, or of course surprise attacks anywhere within the area. With that being said, back to Bloodhound, and I do apologize that I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but back to Bloodhound, you know, with Bloodhound, you wanna look towards, you know, being the tracker, and his ultimate, of course, is, Beast on the Hunt. Beast on the Hunt makes him much, much, much faster than he normally is. This also means that you can see a trail of where the enemy goes. Basically, at that point, you're the Hound. You're the K9. You're the K9 tracker at that point. And that's pretty much what Bloodhound is a K9 tracker. He can track your scent basically wherever you go. This means that no matter where you go, you won't be able to hide. Like, you can't hide, you can't escape. It's going to be hard for you to not catch Bloodhound off guard. And, of course, anyone with a Bloodhound teammate is going to also have a hard time not being caught off guard. So, you know, with that having been said, you know, it is what it is. But, I mean, you know, that's what makes Bloodhound unique and powerful and very, very good. You know. So, going on to our next character, we got, of course, Mr. Caustic. Caustic is another tank-based character, and much like Gibraltar, I hate tank-based characters because they move so darn slow. But of course, with, you know, a character like Caustic, you're going to have you're going to have poison traps, and these poison traps are great for catching your enemy off guard. I do apologize if there's any sound in the background. I know as I'm recording, I always, like I said, try to keep sound to a minimal, because of course it is what it is. But I'm not in the studio or anything like that, so it's very hard for me to create a perfect video that doesn't have any background sound or anything like that. But anyway. So, going back to Caustic, Caustic, of course, can use his Nox gas traps. And these Nox gas traps not only slow you down, but they damage you for, I think, like 2 health per tick. And the longer you're in there, the more damage you're going to get, of course. It's a stacking effect. But with Caustic, you want to utilize those gas traps as well as you can. Obviously, you want to try to fight in closed off areas, because if you're in a closed off area, there's more chance of a Caustic Nox trap or trap to go off and nobody can do anything about it. Versus if you try to use a Caustic trap in the open, unless of course you're really unlucky, or unless of course you're really at a point where it's like, most people are gonna, one thing or another on you, then, it's like, that's going to happen. You want to watch out for those, the Caustic traps in the closed off areas, because, again, like I said, if the Nox gas gets you while you're in a closed off area, you're not going to have many places to escape. And if Caustic comes in, you're going to be in trouble. So, but, what is his ultimate? His ultimate, Caustic's passive is, of course, I think he can breathe through the gas and not have any issues breathing or walking through it. And also, I think he can see through the gas. But also, his ultimate is he throws off a massive gas grenade or massive gas cloud that basically, in general, allows you to, as it's stated, catch people off guard. It allows people to basically be in a oh my gosh, Caustic just gassed us. We're now in trouble. We're having problems. We are, going to be, having trouble one way or another. So, it is what it is. But Caustic, obviously, his Nox gas and his gas is very powerful in closed off areas, because, you can kind of close people in that area and they won't have an escape route, for say. So, there you go. And then, of course, you have, I think the last legend, there might only be a few more legends that I have yet to talk about. And I know one of the last few legends that I have yet to talk about is of course, Bangalore. And I think the last one was, I'm wanting to rack my brain around this for a little bit, so I do apologize. Let me check and make sure I got every legend. Yeah, that's right. The last legend is Bangalore, because we talked about every other legend. So the last legend, of course, being Bangalore. Bangalore, she's very, very smart, and I think we already talked about her, but if we didn't, again, just to recap, if we did talk about her, you want to watch out for her smoke. When it comes to Bangalore, you want to watch out for her smoke. Also, this part here, I don't know what happened. Like, as you'll see here, I'm watching this Bangalore, and I do not know what's going on in Apex Legends. Can you fix this bug? Because there's a bug here where Apex Legends, where it's like, sometimes it looks like someone's stuck under the map. And I don't understand how this bug happens when you're watching it. It's a minor bug, but still, it's just something that I want to point out. Anyway, like I said, to recap Bangalore, as I think we did talk about her a little bit, but if we didn't, this the small recap of her. One of her passives is the speed grenade. Is every time she's hit, she can speed up. She can run much, much quicker than every other person. Her ability is her smoke grenade. And her smoke grenade, she can fire 2 of them. It allows her to confuse enemies and maybe hopefully lose them in the smoke. And it also works as a good revive technique, because if, for instance, you throw out a smoke and then you revive somebody, it allows them to basically have a little bit of time Much like Gibraltar, she's good at defense and offense. She has good abilities, and I hopefully will be able to break her down in future. And her ultimate is the Carpet Bomb. The Carpet Bomb basically is Gibraltar's airstrike, but in a slower, more delayed motion. So, for instance, if for instance you have a Bangalore and a Gibraltar, you want Gibraltar to throw. You may want Bangalore to throw out her Carpet Bomb, and then Gibraltar to throw out his airstrike. Those two together will create basically very, very hard motion to move out of. So, there's a team technique. But anyway, with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you did like this video and you do want to continue to support and watch this video or watch future videos, please do consider doing that. With that being said, thank you everybody again for watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it's helped you decide what character you want. Like I've said before though, honestly, when it comes down to characters, it doesn't matter. I mean, every character has their strengths and every character has their weakness. No one character is basically golden, is basically the best character out there. Many characters are kind of bad. I mean, some characters like Gibraltar, for me, are just really, really bad. I'm not very good with Gibraltar or characters like Gibraltar. And other characters of course, like Bangalore, like Wraith, like Lifeline, I'm very, very good with. So, it all really depends. But with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. And until the next one, everybody, I am live on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/Accureye. I am live on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday for sure for about 4 to 5 hours. I'm also live on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday sometimes Sunday. Sunday will always be my bonus stream, but Monday and Tuesday I've been lately live for about 2 to 3 hours. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button, get subscribed, hit the bell notification, because I know you want to know when my next video drops next. Thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. And yeah, until the next one, everybody, this is Accureye signing out and saying farewell, everyone.